Hey, what's up guys, and welcome back to another episode of my Getting Back in Shape series. I got the warm-up playing in the background because it's a very simple warm-up. I don't think you need me to explain anything. Plus it's episode number 11, so I think you've already seen everything I'm doing in previous episodes. If you haven't seen it, that's a good excuse to go back and watch all the others. Warming up is extremely important. I never, ever do a workout without warming up, but there's been some times where I feel extremely horrible and I warm up and then don't work out. When I go through the warm up, if my body's still feeling horrible, let's say it's the 5th day in a row where I'm trying to push myself at a high level and I realize I just don't have it, I need a rest day. Instead of taking completely off, I do what's called active recovery, which is working out at a very low intensity, just enough to get your blood flowing so your body can heal itself faster. So I'll warm up, get to the point where I realize my body is too exhausted to work out again, and I'll just do the warm up 1 or 2 more times before doing the cool down as well, and then I just call it a day. My body is actually feeling horrible at the moment. The workouts are starting to catch up to me, but the good news is today is a rest day. So I'm off filming this video, episode number 11. Today I'm gonna be doing some PNF patterns. PNF stands for proprioceptive neuromuscular facilitation. Depending on how you do these patterns, it can be more so for flexibility. Today I'm gonna be doing it with light weights. So it's gonna be a mix of mobility and strengthening. There's a different set of patterns for your upper and lower body. Today I'm only doing the lower body part. It is somewhat complex, but I'm gonna make it as easy as possible. And after you do it for a few times, you realize it's not actually that complex. It's just a new pattern of movements that a lot of people haven't seen before, so it takes some time getting used to. Once you do it for a couple times, it becomes easier to remember, and you'll notice that everything you do outside of the PNF patterns also gets better. So this is gonna help you run faster, get stronger, improve your balance. I'm not gonna list everything. It helps you with everything. This routine is a very well-rounded form of movement that takes you through all 3 planes of motion. There's not a lot of exercises that take you through all 3 of the planes of movement. This is one of those rare ones. Everybody should be doing it no matter what you're training for. And of course, if you're just working out to feel better, this is definitely the one for you. I think that's enough talking for now. Let's go ahead and get into it. If you got more questions, as always, you can leave me a comment or send me an email, love@princecanhelp.com. So for all of the exercises, I'm going to be doing 3 different things at the same time. On this first movement, my right foot, which is to the left, is gonna start outside of me, behind me, and then it's gonna come forward and cross my body. So it started on the outside, ended on the inside, started in the back, and ended in the front. And at the same time I was moving that foot in a diagonal line, I was also rotating the foot. So as you see right now, my heel is facing in, and then when I take it behind me, my toe is facing in, or I rotated the heel out, however you want to look at it. But again, I'm moving my foot in front of me and to the inside while rotating the heel. I'm about to do the same exercise again, but if you look at the machine, I'm standing to the right of the machine and I'm facing forward. So it's easy to see how my foot rotates. But then the second time I do it, I'm standing right in front of the machine, and in order to move my foot in a diagonal line where the cable doesn't hit my leg, I've now rotated. So I'm no longer facing directly at the camera, but it's the same exact movement on the opposite foot. My heel starts out and then rotates in. As I bring the leg forward, you can see it looks like my leg is coming in a straight line at the camera, but that's because my body is rotated. This is gonna be movement number 2, which is the exact opposite of what we did. So we're going through the same motion, except now the weight's in front of us as we work the posterior chain. Same movement, my foot is in front of me. As you can see, my body is at a diagonal angle. I'm not facing directly towards the machine. So from this view, the leg is gonna be coming straight towards the camera. And again, it starts with my foot inside the body with my heel in, and then I bring it back outside the body and I rotate the heel so it's facing out. I'm gonna readjust, and then one thing I didn't point out on the first movement is that I'm holding on to that PVC pipe to help me with balance. After I do these for a few weeks, I can do it without the PVC pipe, but I do recommend using one now because we're not working on balance. We're working on strengthening the muscles involved with this movement. And then this is just the same exact movement on the opposite side so you can get a different look and see how the heel is rotating forward as if I'm passing a soccer ball. So this is the third movement. Again, the weight is gonna be behind us. On the very first movement, the foot started behind us on the outside. This time it's starting behind us on the inside, and the diagonal line is gonna go from behind us on the inside to in front of us on the outside. When the foot comes forward, we're gonna turn the toes in or the heel out. And then as we go backwards, we're gonna rotate the foot so that the toes are out and the heels are in. This is what it looks like when it gets moving. Sometimes when you're doing these, just getting started, it's gonna be hard to put everything together. So maybe your leg is just going behind you, inside to out, and you forget to rotate the foot. That's okay. Like I say, do it over and over and you'll get used to it. I still count the reps even when my leg moves, but I forget to rotate. This is the same exact movement from the opposite side. This looks like it might be my stronger side. It looks like that foot is doing better at rotating. So this is the fourth and final movement of the lower PNF patterns. It's the exact opposite of that third movement we did. So our foot is still starting behind us on the inside with our heel facing in, toes out. When you're trying to remember these, just start with one, either the heels in or the toes out. I know both of those are happening at the same time, but you got a lot going on. So let's just say the heel is facing in when it's behind us, inside of us, and as it comes forward through that diagonal line, we're gonna turn the heel outside of us. I started with very low weight. I don't know if you were paying attention to the weight on there. It was as light as it could go for a lot of movements, and I don't think I ever went over whatever the second option was. Sometimes the cable machines use a number 2, sometimes it's 5 or 10 pounds. Just know that I started with very, very low weight. During the warm-up, part of the thing I didn't show because it wasn't that simple for me to do without talking about is I warmed up with no weight at all. So if you need to start with no weight at all, that's completely fine. Use the lightest weight possible on the cable machine, or if the cable machine is too heavy, you can also do this with bands. This is not about how much you can lift. It's about how perfect you can do it. Now, you can actually end the workout there, do 3 different sets of 8 reps on all 4 of those. It's 4 movements, but you're doing it with each leg. So there's 8 different exercises. That's already a lot. I do work out and edit videos full time, so I'm gonna go ahead and do a little more. This next set of exercises is gonna be so much more simple than the first ones we covered. Just gonna be doing some simple straight-legged abduction and adduction. I'm using the Pump Chasers ankle wrap from pumpchasers.com. Anytime I'm working out with ankle cuffs, I like to wear the high ankle socks so that the cuff is not wrapping against the leg. That's just me. You don't have to do it. As you saw in my neck workout video, I like to use the towel for extra cushion. I do work out to look good, so it would be counterproductive if I was working out and I got scratches around my ankles. I have 2 different angles for you, and I'm doing 2 different movements. I'm doing 1 rep with the foot in front of me, and then I'm alternating with the foot behind me. This is adduction. You don't have to remember that. Just make sure you're doing both movements. Some with bringing the weight inside, some taking it away from you. Still using that PVC pipe for balance. This is still the same movement as the first one. I'm just showing you a couple reps on the other leg so you know I did both legs. We're still taking the weight from outside of us, bringing it in. Now we're gonna go to the second movement. Instead of bringing the weight in, the weight starts inside of us and we're taking it outside of the body. On this movement, it's harder to alternate every single time because of the cable. So I do 4 reps in front and then I step over the cable and do 4 reps behind. Looks like this one might have been a little too much weight. And then again, just a couple reps on the opposite leg, still taking the weight from inside the body to the outside. And that's it, guys. PNF patterns mixed with some abduction and adduction, the straight leg version using the cable machine. Of course, I have some programs on my website already made and waiting on you at princecanhelp.com. If you don't see a program you like, I also offer some online training as well as nutrition counseling. I also have the future New York Times #1 bestseller, I Will Succeed. You can get a copy in print, electronic, or audio. Wherever you're watching this video, make sure you like it. If you're not watching this video on YouTube, it'd be really nice if you go to my YouTube channel, like, subscribe, and leave a comment. And of course, don't just watch, but give this workout a try. I'll see y'all in the next video.